Yo, YouTube, what's good? What's good? It's your man, The Rich Kid, back at you with another video, another topic. Just want to come at you all tonight with another wild stories of the past of the Rich Kid. So let's begin. I remember this was early 90s. My cousin was at Delaware State University, and it was homecoming weekend, right? And so, I went down for homecoming weekend with the family and everything. Homecoming weekend, if you don't know, is, a great time on a college campus. You know what I mean? A lot of alumni come back. You got a lot of festivities going on campus, a lot of parties, a lot of food, a lot of drinking, a lot of women. Everything is going on. It's a wild time, man. So we had a good time Saturday. The football game, the annual homecoming football game. I remember going to that. Tailgating, food was good, had food, boom. So, the band plays, that's the big thing, at halftime, the band, homecoming weekend. My cousin was in the band, so, it was a good thing. He did his thing. The Delaware State Marching Hornets, so they were good. So, gang, they did their thing. Game time came and went. So, after the game, everybody just kind of chilling. Families go hang out with their kids, whatever, whatever you want to do. And usually to, the evening and nighttime. And that's usually when, things start to pop off again. So, I think, we went to dinner or something, or we were just hanging out, eating, because, of course we had a hotel room and all that. So, nighttime came, right? So, once nighttime, evening, night pop off, and you already know what time it is. It's time to party, right? So, it was a party. I think it was a concert, and I can't remember. And that's another thing also, especially for black colleges, they schedule artists to come to the campuses to perform. A lot of rap artists, and you have a lot of big name acts that come. And I can't remember who came this particular year, but I do remember, I don't know if we went or we went to the after party. One or two. But anyway, so we were out. It was packed. It was a lot of people packed. I remember it was kind of chilly to like cold, because usually it's like in October-ish or like the very beginning of November. So you gotta remember, I'm on the East Coast at the time. So, the weather is starting to break, on the cold side. So I do remember wearing jackets, you know what I mean? And so I want to say the party, it was the end of the after party, and we were outside, and everybody was just having a good time, man. It's homecoming weekend. Cats is drinking, cats is smoking. It's just wall to wall. Women, chicks is looking good. Cats is trying to holler at chicks. Chicks is trying to holler at dudes, whatever. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just a little bit of everything, right? So, leading up to what I'm about to tell you, I'm caught up in me my cousins, my brother was there. We're all caught up in this crowd, right? Trying to move, because the campus is packed. You know what I'm saying? And cats is acting wild, right? So just out of the blue, nowhere, gunshots. And when I tell you, the gunshots were like loud, man, and I could feel like the concussion of the gunshots on my back. That's how powerful the shots were. And it was crazy, man. I'm like, damn, it was just like boom, 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 boom. And you could feel like the force of the shots, the concussion of them in your back, man. And I'm like, yo, it's crazy, right? So, cats, some people start scattering. You know how it is when gunshots go off. People scatter, boom, whatever. So, but, it's homecoming, it's too many people out. So, after that, we all together, we talking, whatever. So, maybe about an hour or so later, we're all together, and you could hear like a lot of commotion going on, like towards our left. And I don't know what was happening, but later on I found out it was two parties was beefing with each other, and I think it was like from what I understood, they were two different states or whatever. Because you got to remember back, especially in the 90s, where you from was big, and especially on the East Coast, we repped our states, our hoods hard, so it seemed like it was one of those things was popping off, like, different cities was beefing with each other. Like, for instance, while I went to school at Dell State, it was mainly cats from New York, Jersey, Philly, Baltimore, and DC. You had some other cats there spread, from other areas. You might have some dudes from Virginia, North Carolina, some dudes from Florida might have been there, from the South, a few cats from the South. We had dudes from the Midwest, because I had a cool cat I got cool with was from Detroit. I don't remember any Chicago cats there. We had a few cats from Cali. My roommate was actually from Milton, was from Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska. And that was the craziest thing to me. That was the first time I ever had met a black person from Nebraska. And I was like, wow, So yeah, man, we had a lot of people from a lot of different areas that, came to, Dell State particularly. And but mainly it was a lot of East Coast cats, that were from like the big cities that went to Dell State, right? So now, if you don't know the history, back in the 90s, New York and DC were like big time rivals. They always had issues going on with each other. And that was mainly because of the street beef, with the connections with the drug dealing, the cocaine running and all that. So, yeah, so I'm not saying that it was DC and New York this particular time, but I do remember hearing afterwards that it was two cities were beefing with each other. So anyway, we standing there talking, whatever. And you could hear, at least I could hear like, commotion going on on the left. So, then you hear like out of the blue, like cars like start revving like, So, I'm like saying to myself, "Why these cats revving the cars up. So that kind of put my spidey senses like, yo, I don't know, but something, you kind of could feel something wasn't right in the air. And so after that, then you heard like a pop. And I was like, oh snap, here we go. And I knew that was a gunshot. And I said to my cousin, I'm like, yo, you heard that? And he was like, yeah. And then from there, it just went crazy, YouTube. Shots just started ringing out from everywhere. And the crazy thing was, you don't know where they were coming from. I mean, it was just like boom, 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 boom. And yo, when I tell you, everybody like scattered, man. I mean, you talking about like the Red Sea parting open. I mean, it was like boom, crazy. Everybody just and so I was gone, I was out. I gotta remember my cousins were there. My brother was there. So everybody scattered. And so the direction I went, like we pretty much all went the same direction. So at the end of the shooting, uh, you know, everybody was pretty much, accounted for. We were just making sure, that everybody was okay, and everybody was. But then we couldn't find my oldest cousin, the one that was at Delaware State at the time, that was in the marching band. We didn't know where Mick was, my cousin Mick. And so, yo, we like, kind of starting to get worried now. So once we all got ourselves together, it was over with. But we're still like, kind of like, okay, where's Mick? Where's Mick? So, we start walking slowly back towards the shooting. And, people are kind of like just, all, mesmerized and scared. And so, we start yelling out, yo, Mick, 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 yo. So finally, my cousin showed up, and he was cool. He kind of got caught up in the crowd. He went like a different direction. And he was good. He was okay. He didn't get hit or nothing, which, I thank God now. But yeah, man, that was a scary night, man. That was very scary. And when I tell you, YouTube, it was so many gunshots, man, so many gunshots. And after that, I remember the university putting out like a press on that. They first apologized like to the parents for the situation. They said that no one, was hurt or killed in the shooting. Which was amazing. Out of all those people, all those gunshots, nobody got shot or killed, which was God's grace. Yeah. And I'm trying to remember what else, because this was like early 90s. But yeah, those were the main things I can remember. They were just saying that, they apologized as, there was a shooting on campus. No one was hurt at the time, whatever, we thank goodness for all that. You know how, the whole stuff goes, whatever. But yeah, man, that was crazy. And then I remember, we went, I think I stayed with my cousin in his dorm room. Me and my cousin stayed together, then my brother and my cousins, I think they all went back to the hotel. Yeah. And wow, man, what a story, man, to tell. And I'll never forget that as long as I live, man. That night, that was crazy. Homecoming night, man. Early 90s, Delaware State. So, the gist of the story is, YouTube, man, I could have easily been shot, taken out in the situation. But thank God I wasn't. You know what I mean? God's grace was with me. And I'm here 30 plus years later to speak about it on YouTube, just another wild memory of your man, the Rich Kid. But yeah, man, just wanted to share that with you, YouTube. It was just something I remember. I've been through a lot, seen a lot, done a lot. So, there'll be more stories, man. As you know, I can kind of hash them up in my memory as time goes on. But not gonna hold you all too long. As usual, as always, is your man, the Rich Kid, the Rich Kid. Like my content, like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend. I'm out. Peace.